feel like the core mission of graffiti art, like the hieroglyphics, is to document the times and lay out the truth for truth seekers to find in our near future.
The core mission of street art, in my opinion, is to educate and inspire. We're inviting people into our world, so we're like journalists in a way.
How I became a graffiti artist. Grew up around my best friend who's a natural born artist, and he's done illustrations straight out of his head. My grandfather used to give us homework to do, and when we would finish real fast, I would copy out of the comic strips and always had an ability to look at something and be able to copy it, but it just felt like I was always looking at somebody's artwork to get an idea.
I was predisposed to it. You hear people say they're born into a lifestyle. That was definitely predetermined. I had inspiration all around me, whether it was artwork that was done by family members directly or friends of the family. There was always those reinforcing, inspirational things around. So I knew I wanted to do that.
Was so impressed by my best friend, Damon, who was able to do these characters out of his head that I just simply said, you know what, I can do that too. But I wanted to hit it from a different angle. So I got put on to graffiti art just from looking at guys that I was around at the neighborhood house in Orchard Park who were doing like other people's names.
When I think of Lady Pink, she had one of the illest tags that I'd ever seen. And I remember being younger, trying to copy it and emulate it because it just had a flow and a finesse to it. And that was a woman holding it down, you know?
It was my middle school teacher by the name of Miss Harris who, for a graduation gift, gave me a book titled Aerosol Art. Looking at aerosol art, that was my exposure to graffiti around the world.
A lot of writers don't refer to street art as graffiti. Some writers prefer to refer to it as aerosol art or aerosol culture or just writing or writers, because that's what we are, we're writers.
The spray can or the ability to execute anything in graffiti, that's our passport. So if I have a style that speaks true to where I'm from, it almost represents for the city. Alphabet's pretty universal wherever you go, but I feel like the community of artists take pride in crafting an alphabet for hip hop.
Street art influences popular culture because all of the cool stuff is created by kids. Hip-hop culture or street art as an element of hip-hop culture is sort of genius. It's I would say, the best way to showcase your work or your art and effectively have it be seen by as many people as possible, and devise a way to put that artwork on the side of a subway train is genius.
Graffiti art gifted popular culture through influence, having people observe and see things on a large scale.
It's not a trendy kind of thing. We weren't doing this for hits on YouTube or views or likes. We were doing it because it was in our heart to do. If it's real and it's true and it's from the heart, then it's gonna resonate with others. That's what this culture is at its core. It's that realness, the truth.
Hip hop created a space for graffiti culture to exist on the strength of there being elements or disciplines in the culture. They may take the word that a DJ scratching and illustrate it in a piece. There might be an interpretation that the b-boys are having their dance moves that they would freeze in a b-boy character that would be next to their piece. All of the disciplines influence each other in a way. We're griots to these moments and times that we can document and leave it all on the wall for people to observe.
Part of my contribution to this project, I'm doing a series of illustrations, and they're done in sort of like a collage type of style that's sort of like a reflection of the art that I'm recognized for. Basquiat, obviously, Rammellzee, Lady Pink, and Futura. When I hear people refer to Problak as an upcoming artist, that's just crazy to me because he's been around for so long. He's been doing what he's been doing for years. He's many things, but up and coming is not one of them.
What having the support of the MFA does for me personally as an artist, it helps me experience another level of freedom in my creativity. That type of support where artists are hosts, showcased and put in something that's very established with history, the ability to add on to it helps me go a lot harder to preserve what's happening at the time, to take that responsibility of being able to pass down information to the next generation that I visually documented.
To my knowledge, this is the first time that the MFA itself has offered a residency to local artists. I am a graduate of the School of the Museum of Fine Arts. So imagine what a big deal that is for me to work in partnership with a cultural institution that's always been a resource for me on this level for something of this magnitude.
It's a cosign, and it's a real good cosign to what's possible and the delivery of what's possible and the content and information when you have an institution as large as such. It's a real good platform to stand on to deliver the message.
I can't think of a better way to gain the support of your community than to open your doors and make us feel like we belong there, like we're a part of that, because we are.
We've made the streets our galleries, and now we're taking it from the block and bringing it indoors. We're showcasing what we do, so the ability to have this collaboration with a guy that I looked up to coming up in the game is beyond extravagant.